You know, we've all used an ATM. It's just part of life. You put your card in, you get your cash out. It feels safe, reliable, simple. But what if I told you that this machine, this everyday device, has a secret vulnerability, one that can turn it into a criminal's personal slot machine? Today, we're diving deep into the wild world of ATM jackpotting.
Right, we all know it's not a slot machine, it's a secure way to get your money. Or is it?
Because it can be hacked to act exactly like one. They literally call it jackpotting. It's a cyber attack where criminals force an ATM to just spit out all its cash on command. No card, no PIN, nothing. Just a non-stop flow of money. It's a bank heist completely reimagined for the digital age.
Now, we're not talking about your typical smash and grab. This is way more sophisticated. It's an often invisible crime that goes right for the brain of the machine. The result, huge financial losses, sure, but also a ton of damage to a bank's reputation.
So just so we're all on the same page, let's define it. ATM jackpotting is when attackers use malicious software or hardware to take direct control of the cash dispenser, ordering it to just empty itself out. Simple as that.
To really get how this is even possible, you gotta understand how an ATM is put together. Don't think of it as one big and penetrable box. Instead, think of it like a house. A house with a super strong, top-of-the-line safe inside, but, and this is the crazy part, a surprisingly flimsy front door.
And this, right here, is the fatal flaw. See, an ATM has two main parts. You've got the safe, which is heavily armored and holds all the cash. But then you have the cabinet. This holds the computer that controls the cash. And that cabinet? It's often secured with just a basic lock. So the criminals don't even bother with the tough safe, they just waltz right through that front door and take over the computer.
Okay, so they're inside the cabinet, now what? How do they actually pull it off? Well, there are three main ways they do it, and each one takes advantage of this weakness in a slightly different way.
First up, we have pure software attacks. Hackers get malware, like the infamous Plutus, onto the ATM's computer, which, believe it or not, often just runs on Windows. This malware completely bypasses all the normal security and talks directly to the cash dispenser. And the trigger? It could be a simple command from a keyboard they plug in, or, and get this, sometimes it's a simple text message sent to a burner phone hidden inside the ATM. Wild, right? The second method is even more brazen. Instead of just infecting the computer, the criminals physically unplug it and plug in their own device. This black box, which might be a small laptop or even a Raspberry Pi, has one job and one job only. Tell the cash dispenser to empty itself. Then, they can just trigger it wirelessly from a safe distance.
Now, this third method might be the sneakiest of them all. They don't mess with the computer itself, they go after its communication line. They stick a tiny device onto the ATM's network cable. This little implant basically creates a fake bank server, and it tells the ATM, yep, every withdrawal request you get is totally legit. The really scary part here is that this kind of attack can spread to other ATMs on the same network.
And if you're wondering about the scale of this problem, well, it's immense. This isn't petty theft. Just one family of malware, Plutus, has been linked to over $450 million in losses worldwide. That is a staggering amount of money from just one type of attack.
But it's not just some abstract global number. These attacks are very real, and they're happening right now. In one recent case, just 2 criminals using those black box devices I mentioned managed to walk away with over $273,000 from ATMs across Europe. The threat is very, very real.
So the big question is, why? With all the cybersecurity we have, how can someone just walk up, plug a weird device into a cash machine, and drain it? The answer lies in a fundamental blind spot, a kind of ghost in the machine that most security systems are completely unable to see.
The key, the absolute crucial point, is where these attacks happen. All those tools, the black boxes, the network implants, they operate on something called Layer 1, the physical layer. And that is a place where your traditional security software is completely and utterly blind.
Let me put it this way. Your antivirus software is built to look at files and programs. Your network security looks at data packets. None of them are designed to know if someone physically unplugged a cable and plugged in something else. That action, that physical connection, happens at the level of electricity and ports. Software just doesn't see it. It is the ultimate blind spot. So if the problem is a physical ghost that software can't see, the solution has to be a technology that can. And this is where a really cool concept called a cyber digital twin comes into play.
Okay, so what is a cyber digital twin?
Basically, it creates a unique digital fingerprint for every single piece of hardware connected to the ATM, right down to the physical layer. It's like a security guard who has memorized the face of every single legitimate employee, the keyboard, the card reader, the network port, so that the second an imposter shows up, it knows.
And this really shows you the whole idea perfectly. On one side, you've got the rogue device, the physical threat. On the other, you have the digital twin, the intelligent fingerprint that can spot it instantly. This tech finally gives security teams eyes where they used to be flying completely blind.
The way it works is actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, the system creates that digital twin, that perfect baseline of what's normal. Step 2, it's constantly watching for any changes. The moment an unauthorized device is plugged in, it's detected. And step 3, an automated response is triggered immediately, blocking that device before it can do any damage at all.
And while we've been focused on ATMs this whole time, this idea has implications that are so much wider. It's really about a fundamental shift in how we secure all of our critical infrastructure.
At the end of the day, this matters because it closes a huge security gap that criminals have been exploiting for years. It protects the essential systems we all depend on every single day. It stops these massive financial losses. And maybe most importantly, it proves that our digital security can finally reach all the way down to the physical hardware itself.
And that kind of leaves us with one last big question. We've just seen how vulnerable our cash machines are at the most basic physical level. It really makes you wonder, what other critical systems out there in the world have this exact same blind spot?